we are seeing declines of over 0.2% at this stage. In terms of the point contribution table, if we pull that out, if we see the top draggers today in the street, that includes something like Reliance Industry, ICICI Bank, along with that TCS, while on the other side, Eternal, Titan and SBI are some of those pockets which are still in green as what we are seeing. So that's with regards to the benchmark indices and what's happening over there. If you take a check at the sectoral indices, now if you look at that particular stage, we already spoke about PSU banks being the only one in green, but overall, apart from that, we also have consumer durables and that is in green, but Nifty IT, Nifty Media, most pressure is seen between these two indices, down more than 1% in trade today. Even real estate and defense not doing so well. Yesterday, defense was one of the worst performing indices as well. So there's pressure continuing for that pocket as well. Broader markets is something where we are seeing deeper pain. If you just look at mid cap 150 at this point, we are seeing cuts of around 0.5%, while for small cap 250, it's about 0.4% of cuts that we are looking at. Yesterday, we saw more than a 1% of a downside for both of these. So what's the kind of trajectory that we are seeing for both of these is something that we should be monitoring. Apart from that, BSE 500, let's just take a quick check at what's happening on the stock specific side of action. Orient Electric down about 4%, GR Infra, Coforge also in red. So that's the overall picture that we have for the markets as of now. But with that, let me welcome in the guest for today, CA Tapan Doshi, research analyst of CATapan.in joins us. Along with that, we have Swati Hotkar, AVP of Technical Research from Nirmal Bang, also with us. Thank you so much for taking out the time. With that, let me take out the first query which is there. And if you're talking about the first query now, that is from Fino Payment Bank. That is what we are seeing. The user wants to know what's the kind of trajectory that we are seeing in terms of long-term picture of this. So let me come to you, Tapan. What's your view with Fino Payments Bank? They recently got a nod for operating as a small finance bank as well. So what would you say?
See, for Fino Payment, no, the margin recovery is expected to in next 1 or 2 years, and the CASA buildup is going to improve gradually. See, the fee income is the main income, and that is when you can see the double-digit growth. And new customers is slowly getting added here. Of course, strong customer acquisition trend may be there over the time, and digital initiatives the company is taking. So yes, I think this stock is good, but somehow no, you can wait for 1 or 2 quarter more, 1 quarter more, see the result this quarter, and then get into it. I'll still wait for 1 quarter and then get into it.
The next is a caller query coming in from Kolkata. Sayam, you can go ahead and ask your query.
Okay, I want to know about the counter, Anant Raj. Actually, I used to hold 250 shares. Now I only hold 25. I booked the profit. But right now the rate is down again. I want to now invest for long term. Is it the right time to accumulate more slowly, or I should wait more?
Tapan, is it a right time to invest in Anant Raj?
See, no, a lot of positive momentum was there earlier, but now from last few months, no, it is not there. And the reason is, I think the results are not coming so great. Plus, no, lot of expectation is that the data centers will be in operation in coming time. So, but I think the margin recovery and all that will take time. Plus, no, if you see the residential part of that, it's having a strong counter. I think there also we can see a double-digit growth. A strong visibility is there, but still the stock is going down. I think he can wait for some time, and if possible, if it goes down 5-10%, I think he can add also. I think valuation is now reasonable. If he's a long-term player, he should wait for it.
The next query is coming in from Shankar from Dubai. It's on Sammaan Capital. He has 550 shares bought at an average price of 165. He wants to know whether is it a good time to buy more or at current levels, or sell or continue to hold the number of shares he has. Firstly, coming to you, Swati, what's your view on Sammaan Capital?
First of all, good morning, all of you. The view is a little bit cautious at the current levels because we are continuously witnessing a selling pressure from over 190 levels to now 140. Now the stock is currently entering into the oversold zone. I believe the Sammaan Capital will find out a support nearby 125 to 130 levels. In those levels will be the attractive levels to take a average out position. So I would suggest to wait for some more time. If any dips you are getting towards to 130 to 125 level, those levels will be attractive. And upside momentum can be seen once the stock manages to give the breakout of a 150, then the rally would likely to be continued towards to 165 to 170 levels. So it's a hold from my end. For fresh long position, buy on dip strategy should be implemented.
Okay, so that's the view that we are seeing for Sammaan Capital as of now. But before we take more stock queries, let me go to the market guest Ajay Srivastav, MD of Dimension Corporate Finance Services, joining now. Hi Ajay, thank you so much for taking out the time. Before we take more stock queries, it's important to address with what's happening with the benchmark indices as well as small caps as well. Just want to get your view first of all with this persistence that we're seeing in terms of market weakness. What is your view?
I think, thanks for having me. I think it's very clear that the market was ahead of the fundamentals, irrespective of the GDP numbers. The real growth rate, as you see in the companies, is nowhere close to 15-16%. And so it's like a normal market which has very maturely reacted to what economic data is coming through, particularly the long-term impact of the rupee devaluation. I think most market analysts don't talk about it. But it's going to have severe implications as India goes down the path, because you've seen what's happened to our import bill as well. So market is very mature. It's reflected very correctly the economic fundamentals of a falling rupee, which is ended up into 90 plus category. Now 93, if you look at the forward cover for next year, you're actually an exporter can sell at 93 rupees or 93.50 at this point of time. Now with that kind of cost base building into the system, the RBI's rupee rate cut was totally misplaced. It backfired. And it is just pointless because the yields have gone up, the stock market has reacted negatively. So sometimes you wonder whether the ability or the market is pushing the RBI governor to do things which is not in consonance with economic realities, and the market votes by its numbers and is voted with the red.
Right, sir. But when you look at the mid and small cap space, the pressure has been much more compared to large cap. Is that only because of the rupee depreciation, or is there any concerns related to earnings growth as well?
Of course, there is a generic issue in the market on the valuations. You have a whole host of companies with valuation above P's above 50, growing flat or thereabouts, including some retail companies, etc., which are at P's of 70 and 80s. Now, when you start buying stock with P's of 70, 80s, you obviously sit with a huge amount of expectation of growth, which is not coming through. Back to the same point. The growth is not coming through. So if you're buying a stock at 50, 60s or 40 P's and the growth is stalling, you naturally tend to sell out. And that's what is happening. Plus, of course, it's an over-owned sector. India is still retooling itself towards commodities. As we see it right now, there is a big sell-off taking place and moving to commodities, particularly the precious metal in India, because our portfolios are not balanced correctly. So it's not only economic realities of lower earnings, it's also over-owned stocks. And the third is, the big chunk is, people are now gradually moving to two places, overseas markets and commodities. So the rebalancing will create these problems, or supply demand will keep coming. And therefore, the good part for investors is it's a mature market. Number two, people who have the FOMO problem that will not get the shares again, I think you will get all shares at a reasonable prices. So look at the bright side of it to say that if you were a buyer and if you are willing to come and invest in the market, you are getting much more surer valuations today than you could have got maybe 2 to 3 weeks back.
And just quickly to wrap up, which are those sectors or stocks where investors could see more value at after the correction that we have seen?
I think they're going to be MNC capital goods stocks. I think should be a very good place to be. Your monopoly stocks in terms of telecom, I think there's going to be a very good place to be. Gold loan companies continues to be a very good place to be. The hospital sector has done remarkably well. That's going to be a good sector to be. And let's not forget autos, that they are doing really well. And if the exports of companies doing exports, it's absolutely wondrous time with the rupee dollar. So 5 or 6 sectors definitely going to gain with what's happening in the market.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Ajay, for joining us on such a short notice and answering all that's happening with the markets. But moving on to the next query, if you look at that, now this is Sanjay who's writing to us from Bangalore. He wants to understand whether it's a good time to buy NTPC or Tata Power at the current market price, or should he wait for further correction which is there. So just for a 1-year perspective, if you want to check what's the kind of outlook that we have for them, let me go across to Swati for her view on these power stocks.
As of now, those both the counters are under the selling pressure. I will suggest to wait for some more time. I believe that this selling pressure is likely to be seen in the near-term future as well. About NTPC 300 295 are the very good levels to take a fresh long positions, but not at the current market price. About the Tata Power, it's already witnessing a very strong support levels at around 365 levels. Today also it had almost retested those levels by 369, and we have seen some turnaround. So at least 20-30% quantity, whatever you're planning, I would suggest to buy at least 20-30% at the current market price. If you're getting any dips towards to 350 levels, you can add on. I'm looking for a target of a bounce back rally towards to 390 levels into the Tata Power. So at a CMP, Tata Power is recommended to take a long position.
Okay, so that's the view for Tata Power as well as NTPC. But moving on, we have a caller right with us. It's Venkatesh who's calling us from Hyderabad. Hi, how can we help you today?
Yeah, so can I accumulate Bajel Projects for long term? So I have currently around 185,000 shares. Can I accumulate for 5 to 6 years?
Just want to understand your reasoning behind entering this particular counter. When did you mark your entry in this?
Yeah, so it's the EPC sector, right? So the Bajaj Group, they have no brand name and they are starting, small cap company. So we can trust the management also. And the EPC sector also growing in India and worldwide. So can we accumulate slowly? So it could be the next bet. That's it.
Okay, let me go across to Tapan for this query. Tapan, your view with Bajel Projects. Now, we've seen about 25% of correction in the last 6 months for this particular counter. Now, order wins, while that is there, what's the kind of outlook that we should be building in? Are you optimistic on this stock?
No, see, there's a lot of pressure on this stock, and if you see the EPC margins are under pressure, and the demand is also quite uneven. See, again, the working capital is quite stretched for this stock. Overall, the EPC margin recovery is expected, but it will take some time. Again, the appliances segment is getting stronger and stronger, but still it is not able to recover it at that level where it can move the needle. So I think a lot of work need to be done for this company. If you say execution, which is on a slower side, it should be much better. And market share gain, actually, it's at a lower level. I think they should gradually go up. Then only that things will move up. So I'm not too much positive on this stock. So for me, I think it's a avoid from my side.
Avoid is what we are seeing for Bajel Projects at the current levels. But it's time that we slip into a short break. More stock queries on the other side, so do stay tuned in.
...2025 has been a tremendous year for markets, money and milestones. And we have tracked it all right here.
As the year winds down, we bring you the big moments, the bold calls.
The stories that shaped your money and the trends that will shape the future.
Goodbye 2025. Get set for 2026. Only on NDTV Profit.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am, we are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
The NDTV Profit has come a long ways.
You are the new schools and colleges which people are getting access to education from.
ने बढ़िया आपका काम किया, आपके तो नाम में प्रॉफिट लगा हुआ भाई.
In the world of money and markets, the real currency is clarity.
So you guys democratize information, and I think first you seeded the market, now the market is seeding you back out there.
Decisive, discerning, distinct. NDTV Profit isn't just business news.
We are like visiting faculty. Occasionally we come and get a chance to share what we can, but I think it's a great service.
It's the new language of markets, and the voices that move markets know it. Understand markets, decode money through the masters who shape them.
I think you're trying to get knowledge to smaller cities and towns, making it simple for retail investors. I think what you're doing is also contributing to the Indian capital markets and Indian economy.
When leaders speak of markets, they speak to ND.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. The next query is coming in from Hyderabad. Gopal, you can go ahead and ask your query.
Yeah, I have Tata Motors PV shares, 4,000 shares at 380 rupees. So with this correction, can I add more? If it is a 2026 beta, I am looking for complete 1 year.
Right. Tapan, should he add more shares of Tata Motors? He already owns 4,000 shares at a price of 380.
No, I don't think so. The reason is still Tata Motors PV is struggling a lot. The reason is that Land Rover and Jaguar, that UK division is not doing well. The cyber attack is actually wiping off a lot of their profitability, and still we don't know where it will go. I think one should wait for 1 or 2 quarter more. Of course, the domestic front is good. You can see that there the demand is there, but the problem is the UK group. And again, here if he wants to go, I think commercial vehicle is a better option compared to passenger vehicle. So I'll say that don't average at this level for PV. Wait for 1 or 2 quarter, then take a decision.
So that's the view for Tata Motors PV. But moving on, next question is from R. Lakshmanan. He's writing to us from Chennai. His query is regarding Bata India, which is bought at the levels of 1187. 50 shares is the quantity that he holds. Wants to understand whether he should sell, hold or average at the current level. Swati, let me come to you on this one. What's your view for Bata India? We've seen significant correction in this 1 month or even the last 6 months period. So what would your view be?
Exactly, you rightly pointed out that from the last 3 month or say quarterly, we have seen a sell-off going on continuously, and the stock has just lost its 17 to 18% gain. At the current levels, I will not suggest to add on the long positions. It's struggling to find out a support nearby 950 levels. I will suggest to wait for some more time. Any dip towards to 900 can be attractive level to take a long positions, and you can hold on your longs. I am looking for a target of at least 1100 rupees once the stock manages to give the breakout of 1000 psychological mark, which is acting as a very strong resistance level. Any move above that level will witness some sort of a pullback rally or the bounce back rally towards to 1100. So it's a hold from my end at the current levels, and any dips towards 900 can be taken as an average position.
Next query is from Murthy from Karnataka. He has around 100 shares of Groww, bought at a price of 166. He wants to know, should he continue to hold this counter or sell or add more? Tapan, any view here?
See, I think the valuation is on a higher side. If you see the broking business are struggling, and again, if I compare with Angel Broking and Motilal, this stock is on valuation almost 40-50% on a higher side. Again, they are going to transfer to AMC business and mutual fund business, but that will take time. It will take even wealth management. It will take 1 or 2 years more. So at this valuation, I think it's on a higher side. My suggestion will be that do not buy. I think if it comes up, you can sell also, and if it comes around 120, around 120, 130, I think that is a level one can think about getting it.
Okay, so that's with regards to Groww that we are seeing. But before we take more queries, it's time to take a deep dive into what's happening with the Fino market setup and the cues shaping up for trade today. Let's bring in Sharath for a snapshot for the trade today.
Well, the Fino market is having a lot of confusion here, and wild swings are happening for the last 20 to 30 odd minutes. But net, the overall, looking at Sensex, there is a deep pressure coming in, and larger players like TCS, Asian Paints, Infosys are taking the brunt. Only minor handful companies like Titan, Eternal are trying to float the boat, but net, it's convincingly below that 84,600 mark when it comes to Sensex numbers, and the story remains same for BankX as well. A lot of action happening in this space as well, but it's a push and pull as we get more discovery in this F&O segment. BankX also no major support coming in from HDFC Bank and even ICICI Bank. These two constituents are having heavy support in this setup. Also, the contract space also we look at it. This is the entire setup which you're looking at, but the stocks are giving very divergent moves. Let's look at the important stocks which should be in focus. Long build-up coming in for delivery, and there is a sharp reversal in RVNL. So you can see how volatile the markets are. Short covering, the candidate is becoming more stronger, and that's Keynes Tech. Last trading session, there was selling pressure, but after that, a significant up move going past the 4,000 mark. BHEL also, we are seeing some reversals in select defense plays. Long unwinding, CDSL and Infosys is there. Not much volumes here though. And lastly, I'd like to point the short build-up where Coforge, after the analyst meet, its stock is tanking, and BSC also is down almost 4% as well. So these are the stocks, but overall the sentiment is still very negative and volatile.
Thank you, Sharad, for that FNO snapshot. Moving on, the next query is coming in from Lokesh from Jaipur, and it's on Apar Industries. He has bought 1,000 shares of the company in 2022 at 685, then sold 500 shares at a higher level of 9,830, and currently he's holding 500 shares. So he wants to know the future outlook for Apar Industries. Tapan, any view on the future outlook of Apar Industries?
Yes, see, for Apar Industries, commodity softening will help them, to, support the margins, and export pickup is gradually going to be there in next 1 or 2 years. Even if you see the working capital, is quite efficient now, improving gradually. Profit growth is expected to into mid-teens around. So international mix is actually improving. The stock has gone up a lot, and of course, the revenue is also doing good here. So yes, I'm quite positive on this stock. He is holding. I think he should keep it holding. And if you want to buy at a lower level, he can buy at this level. Buy at a lower level. Sorry.
Okay, so that's a view for Apar Industries that we have for you. Moving on to the next query, it's Pawan who's writing to us from Hyderabad. Now he wants to understand the targets for REC. He's bought it at the levels of 474 and currently holds about 500 shares. Wants to understand whether he should add more at the current level. Swati, what would your view be?
See, at the current level, I will not suggest to add on because the stock is continuously trading in the formations of the low top, low bottom formations since 2025. And as of now, it's not showing any indications of a trend reversals from the lower level. I believe 330, 320 levels will be the good level to take a long positions, not at the CMP. Positive momentum can be seen when the market RECL will give the breakout of the 360 levels, which is acting as a very crucial resistance level provided by its 20 DMA. So any move above that level will only witness a positive move towards to 380 to 390 levels. Wait for a long positions. Any tips towards to 330, 320 levels can be taken as an opportunity to take a fresh buy call.
Now we start with our first rapid fire segment. So Tapan and Swati would request you to keep your answers short. The first query is coming in from Ishwar. He has 100 shares of Welspun Corp bought at a price of 870. Should he hold, sell or buy more at current prices, Tapan?
Hold.
Okay. Next query is from Naveen. He's holding 37 shares of Tenneco Clean Air India and he's holding it at the levels of 397. Wants to understand the 2 to 3 months outlook. Swati, your view?
View is a little bit negative. Downside 470 levels can be seen. Positive move can be seen only about the 490 levels for a target of 520.
Mali from Hyderabad is holding 3000 shares of KPI Green bought at a price of 605. Should he continue to hold, Tapan?
Hold and buy on dips.
Okay, the next query is regarding Paris Defense. The viewer is holding 130 shares at an average price of 697. Wants to understand whether he should continue to hold or sell this one. Tapan, your view?
Yeah, hold and he can edit as it goes down also.
The next query is from Shelja from Hyderabad. It's on Vishal Megamart. She wants to know post the fall, should she add more of Vishal Megamart? Swati, any view here?
Yes, you can add on at the levels of 115 for a target of 140.
Okay, Sridhar has bought around 2,500 shares of Irida at the levels of 165. Wants to understand whether he should continue to hold or take an exit on this one. He can hold it till the end of 2026. Tapan, your view?
Yeah, he can hold, but at upper level he can exit.
Next query is from Tanishk. He has 200 shares of Edelweiss Financial bought at a price of 118. The stock is below 100. Should he continue to hold, Swati?
Yes, hold on. Sell on rise strategy should be implemented at 115.
Okay, Jesse is holding about 35 shares of Deep Industries and this is at the levels of 495 that we are seeing. Wants to understand whether he should continue to hold this one for a period of more than 2 years. Tapan, your view?
Yeah, hold but with a stop loss. No, at upper level the valuation are stretched.
Lokesh from Hyderabad wants to know what is the best pick out of Max Healthcare, JSW Steel and NSDL. Tapan?
Yeah, Max Healthcare, JSW Steel hold and third one, sorry, I forgot.
NSDL, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, hold.
Okay, hold is what we are seeing. Veera is now holding 100 shares of Zydus Life Sciences and wants to understand the short-term targets on this one, whether she should continue to, whether she should enter at the level. So, Swati, your view?
Buying position is not recommended at current levels, but upside 950 to 980 levels can be seen.
The next query is from Srinath. He's holding 60 shares of Juniper Hotels bought at a price of 334. Should he average, hold or sell, Tapan?
No, do not average, wait for 1 quarter. Currently you hold but wait for 1 quarter, then only average.
Okay, Yatharth wants to sell 350 shares of CAMS that he's been holding. Wants to understand whether it's the right time to sell or should he continue to hold as of now. Swati, your view?
I will suggest to hold on by keeping a strict stop loss of 730 for a target of 775.
The next query is from Lokesh. He has 2,000 shares of Jain Irrigation bought at a price of 55. Should he hold or exit? Tapan?
Exit.
Okay.
Well, with that, we end the first round of rapid fire. We'll slip into a short break and we'll be back with more queries, and I will address them on the other side.
...2025 has been a tremendous year for markets, money and milestones. And we have tracked it all right here.
As the year winds down, we bring you the big moments, the bold calls.
The stories that shaped your money and the trends that will shape the future.
Goodbye 2025. Get set for 2026. Only on NDTV Profit.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities, aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, stay tuned.
The NDTV Profit has come a long ways.
You are the new schools and colleges which people are getting access to education from.
नहीं बढ़िया आपका काम क्या आपके तो नाम में प्रॉफिट लगा हुआ भाई.
In the world of money and markets, the real currency is clarity.
So you guys democratize information, and I think first you seeded the market, now the market is seeding you back out there.
Decisive, discerning, distinct. NDTV Profit isn't just business news.
We are like visiting faculty. Occasionally who come and get a chance to share what we can, but I think it's a great service.
It's the new language of markets, and the voices that move markets know it. Understand markets, decode money through the masters who shape them.
I think we are trying to get knowledge to smaller cities and towns, making it simple for retail investors. I think what you are doing is also contributing to the Indian capital markets and Indian economy.
When leaders speak of markets, they speak to NDTV Profit.
The NDTV Profit has come a long ways.
You are the new schools and colleges which people are getting access to education from.
नहीं बढ़िया आपका काम क्या आपके तो नाम में प्रॉफिट लगा हुआ भाई.
In the world of money and markets, the real currency is clarity.
So you guys democratize information, and I think first you seeded the market, now the market is seeding you back out there.
Decisive, discerning, distinct. NDTV Profit.
Hi, welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit right here on NDTV Profit. Now, this is a show where you get all your stock-related queries answered, and we have our experts with us. That's Swati and Tapan, both to solve all the fundamental and technical queries that you have for us. But with that, let me go to the WhatsApp query. That's Murli, who's writing to us from Hyderabad. He's bought 100 shares of Indian Bank, and this is at the average price of 799 that we're seeing currently. He's making a loss of around 1,000 on the counter. So just want to get a perspective whether he should continue to hold this, and should he? Is it a good move to enter? Swati, let me come to you on this one. What is your view?
I will suggest to hold on at the current market price. I believe that the stock has a strength to go ahead on the higher sides. At the current levels, you can definitely hold on. 820, 840 levels can be seen in the near-term futures. 765 is acting as a crucial support levels. So by keeping that as a stop loss, you can hold your long positions.
Right, the next query is coming in from James from Hyderabad. He has 180 shares of Siemens India bought at a price of 3,300. He wants to know, should he average this counter here more or just continue to hold the number of shares he has? Tapan, any view on Siemens?
Yeah, Siemens, no, actually it's correcting a lot, and hopefully, things will be better in next few quarters as the capex is going up. But I think the overall electrification segment also is going to go up from here. So yes, high margin service business. Hopefully, the share goes up, then the margin will improve for this company. My suggestion, yes, he can average it slowly and gradually in a SIP manner. I think maybe 1 or 2 quarter will be better from here.
Okay, so that's the view regarding Siemens that we have for you. But moving on to the next query, it's Jeevan Kumar who's writing to us from Hyderabad. He's holding 270 shares of IGL, and this is at a price of 431 that we are seeing. Wants to understand whether he should average at the current levels, considering that he wants to hold it for the next 3 to 5 years. Tapan, what would your view be?
Can you repeat the stock name?
IGI.
IGR. Okay, IGR, yes, I think he can hold the stock. And if you see the overall, the already run-uppers, he's there. And I think the margin improvement slowly and gradually will be there. Of course, the import competition remains and realization will be slowly and gradually improving, but it will take time. Maybe, I think, yes, I think he can hold it for now, and slowly and gradually he can buy at the lower levels.
Next query is from Suman from Kolkata. He wants to know whether is it a right time to buy Dixon Tech. Swati, what's your view here?
Dixon Tech, I will suggest to hold on some more time because the stock is entering into the oversold zone. As of now, it is under the midway of the RSI, showing the midway positions. It has a very crucial support levels at around 12,750. I believe up to that level, we might witness some sort of a selling pressures. So fresh longs positions are recommended on every dips to 12,750, 800 levels are recommended. Upside, we can witness a pullback rally if it manages to give the breakout of 14,250, which is acting as a crucial resistance level. Any move above that level will extend a positive move towards to 15,000 to 15,500 levels.
Okay, so that's the view for Dixon Tech. But moving on to the next query, it's from Kader, who's writing to us from Karnataka. He's bought 8,000 shares of SpiceJet at the price of 443 and wants to understand whether he should hold it for the next 3 months. Swati, what would your view be?
Yes, at the current level, I will suggest to hold on the long positions because 33 is acting as a very crucial support levels for this particular counter. So by keeping that as a stop loss, you can hold on. If you're getting any move towards to at least 40 to 44 rupees, I will suggest you should exit your long positions.
Mahalakshmi from Hyderabad wants to know whether should she continue to hold on to the 320 shares that she has of Lodha Developers bought at a price of 1,022, or should she shift to DLF? So Tapan, between DLF and Lodha, which is a better bet?
No, I think Lodha will also continue to do well. I think a double-digit growth will be there, and deleveraging targets is already there for this company. Of course, their pre-sales are also good, and if you see their strong visibility is there and large pipeline is there. So I'm positive on Lodha. So at this level, she can continue to hold. DLF is a good counter, but yes, Lodha she can continue to hold.
Okay, so hold is what we are seeing for both DLF and Lodha. So that's a view for the real estate space. But moving on, it's Rahul who's writing to us from Hyderabad. He's holding 1,400 shares of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank at the price of 47. Wants to understand whether he should buy more at the current levels. So his outlook is for the next 2 to 3 years. So Tapan, what would your view be?
Yeah, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank has done very well. If you see the net interest margin has gone up, and again as the interest rate going down, I think they will be benefited. Of course, the stock has run up a lot, so I'll not tell you to add now, but at every level you can add it. And for long term, I think it's a good stock to hold. I think management commentary is positive, so I'm quite bullish on this stock for a long term.
Next query is from Sunny from Karnataka. He's holding 355 shares of Borosil Renewable bought at a price of 640. He wants to know the medium to short term view here, Swati.
Is positive at the current market price because it's showing some sort of a turnaround from 525 levels. A positive move can be extended towards to 560 to 580 levels. So you can definitely hold on this particular stock.
Okay, a hold is what we are seeing for Borosil Renewables at the current levels. Moving on to the next query is about Elecon Engineering. Now the viewer wants to know that he's bought 60 shares and he's bullish on the long-term picture of this considering the valuations. Wants to understand whether he should add at the current levels or continue to hold it. So Tapan, what would your view be for Elecon Engineering?
Even I'm quite bullish on this stock now. If you see the execution pace is improving slowly and gradually, and as the commodity softens, their margins is going to go up. The profitability will be there around mid-teens and all that. And here also they have a good strong order book also, so that is not a problem. Export contribution is also improving. So yes, he can add at this level even at a lower levels and stay for long term.
Next query is coming in from Anil from Mumbai. It's on Wellspun Living. He's holding 450 shares bought at a price of close to 139 rupees. He wants to know whether should he continue to hold this counter or sell. Swathi, any view on Wellspun Living?
My view is little bit cautious at the current market price because stock is continuously trading in a lower top formations as such. So I believe that at the current levels you can hold on, but keep a strict stop loss of 125 rupees because it's a cluster support levels. Any move below 125 level will witness some sort of a more selling pressure and which will drag a stock towards 215, 218 levels. So hold the long positions by keeping a strict stop loss of 125. Any positive move towards to 138 to 135 levels should be utilized to exit your long positions.
Okay, so that's with Wellspun Living. But moving on, now the next query is from Joseph Victor. He's bought 427 shares of Tejas Networks. He's holding it for a period of 3 years, wants to understand whether he should continue to hold or sell this one. He's currently making a profit of around 1.6 lakhs. So, Tapan, considering that he wants to hold it for a long-term picture, what would your view be?
I'm not too much positive on this stock for the long term, and if you see there are a lot of execution delays there. Again, high dependence is there on the government projects also. So profit is missed actually last few quarters also. No, the profitability was not on a better side. So I think yes, if he wants, there are better counters available. I think he can sell at this level, and because he is in profit, I'm not too much bullish on this stock.
The next query is from Ashok from Bangalore. It's on ABB India. He has 20 shares bought at an average price of 5,762. He also has 50 shares of Transrail Lighting bought at a price of 789. He wants to know whether should he continue to hold both the counters for the next 1 year. Swathi, any view on ABB India and Transrail Lighting?
Yes, ABB, my view is definitely positive, even though this particular stock is under the selling pressures, but positive momentums can be seen towards 250, 200 and about that level, 50, 400 levels can be seen. If you are having any longer term horizon, definitely you can hold on the ABB counter at the current market price as well. And about the another counters, I'm little bit cautious at the current market price. So I will suggest if you are getting any in the Transrail, any positive up move from towards at least 580 to 590 levels, you should utilize to book your profits or to exit the long positions.
Okay, so that's with regards to Transrail Lighting. The stock is down more than 30% in this last few months. So that's what we are seeing. But moving on, it's Venkat who's calling to us from Telangana. Hi Venkat, how can we help you? Venkat, can you hear us? Okay, I think there's some audio issue with this. So I'll just state his query. He holds about 73 shares of Electra Green at the levels of 1842. He's currently facing a loss of about 47,000 on this counter. Not sure whether it's a fundamental view that he was aiming for, but let me take this with Tapan. Tapan, what would your view be?
I think he can hold it for a little bit longer. Things will be settling down for this stock over the time, and the management is quite positive. And they are saying the execution will be there much better in next few quarters, and I think the demand will be there. So yes, I'm positive on this stock, so we can hold this stock.
A hold is the view for Electra Green. But moving on, next query is from Vinod, who's writing to us from Hyderabad. He's bought shares of NetWeb Technologies at the price of 37.47. Wants to know whether he should hold it. Swati, what would your recommendation be?
Yes, you can definitely hold on this particular counter because from the last two trading session, we are continuously witnessing a selling pressure in this particular stock. A bounce back rally is expected in the near term future, which will take a stock towards to 3,500 levels. So it's all from mine at the current market price.
Okay, so hold us the current view for Netweb Tech as well. But it's time to slip into a very short break. There's going to be more stock queries as well as another rapid fire round as well. So do stay tuned in.
...2025 has been a tremendous year for markets, money and milestones. And we have tracked it all right here.
As the year winds down, we bring you the big moments, the bold calls.
The stories that shaped your money and the trends that will shape the future.
Goodbye 2025. Get set for 2026. Only on NDTV Profit.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Groww, we are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
The NDTV Profit has come a long way.
You are the new schools and colleges which people are getting access to education from.
ने बढ़िया आपका काम किया, आपके तो नाम में प्रॉफिट लगा हुआ भाई.
In the world of money and markets, the real currency is clarity.
So you guys have democratized information, and I think first you seeded the market, now the market is seeding you back out there.
Decisive, discerning, distinct. NDTV Profit isn't just business news.
We are like visiting faculty occasionally who come and get a chance to share what we can, but I think it's a great service.
It's the new language of markets, and the voices that move markets know it. Understand markets, decode money through the masters who shape them.
I think you're trying to get knowledge to smaller cities and towns, making it simple for retail investors. I think what you're doing is also contributing to the Indian capital markets and Indian economy.
When leaders speak of markets, they speak to NDTV Profit.
NDTV Good Times is something that we're supremely excited about.
We just don't want to do live entertainment. We want to create experience for you.
And NDTV Good Times is one of the most marquee and iconic ideas that NDTV came up with.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit. The next query is coming in from Siva and it's on Shilpa Medicare. He has close to 1,180 shares bought at a price of 395. He's sitting on a loss of 75,000 at this moment. Tapan, any view, should he just book losses or continue to hold this counter?
No, I think you can hold the counter because no API demand recovery is going to be there. Again, the oncology portfolio is going to scale up in future. Of course, the R&D expense is actually impacting the stock, and the PAT margin improvement is there slowly and gradually. But I think because the long-term CDMO growth is, I think this is the stock now he can hold for a little bit longer. I think things will be settling down for this stock over the time.
Okay, so that's with regards to Shilpa Medicare is what we are seeing. Medicare is what we are looking at. Moving on to the next one is from Rajan Iyer. He's a retired banker and he wants to have his question regarding ITC hotels. He's holding 1,500 shares at the levels of 170. He wants to understand the 2-year perspective on this one. So, Tapan, what would your view be for ITC hotels? Are you positive on this?
Yeah, I'm quite positive on ITC hotels because if you say average revenue per room is almost moving towards double digit growth, occupancy improvement is almost 75 to 80%, and the margin expansion is going to come gradually. Of course, their expansion is quite big, and you know that now the tourism is going up. So yes, I'm quite positive in this stock. So he can there be for long term. I think this stock may give you a better return from here.
Right. The next query is coming in on Coal India, where Akhil Bakshi from Mumbai is holding close to 1,000 shares for the last couple of years. The average cost of buying is 440. Returns are negative 15%. He wants to know whether should he continue to hold this counter or exit. Swati, any view on Coal India?
Yeah, at the current level, looking towards the price momentum view is definitely positive. A downside, it has forming a very cluster support zones nearby 368 to 365 levels. So as long as it sustains above those levels on the closing basis, the trend will remain on the positive side. So I will suggest to hold on this particular counter. Upside up to at least 395 to 400 levels can be seen very soon. So it definitely it's a hold from my end by keeping a tight stop loss of 365 rupees.
Okay, so that's with regards to Coal India that we are seeing. Moving on to the next one, it's Gul who's writing to us. He has 50 shares of Nesco and he's purchased it at the levels of 955. He wants to understand whether at the current levels can he add more. Swati, what would your view be?
I would suggest to wait for some more time. No need to be hurried to add at the higher levels. Any momentum dips towards to 1100 or 1050, that would be the very attractive levels to take a fresh long positions. The view is definitely positive. Upside levels can be seen up to at least 1320 to 1400. Those are the target levels I'm looking for a short period of time. So it's all from my end.
The next query is coming in from Harish. He is holding few shares of Yes Bank at a price of 1870. Tapan, should he continue to hold?
Yes, he can. No, because the management changes happen, and I think that is positive for the stock. And they are telling that now net interest margin is going to be stabilized, and they have a CASA ratio targeted much higher. I think they are working on it. So loan growth is expected to be the better from here as the economy goes up. And I think the worst time is behind for Yes Bank. So yes, he should hold it, and at a lower level he can buy also.
The next query is from K. Guru, who's writing to us from Chennai. He wants to understand whether he should accumulate City Union Bank, Karur Vyasa or Tamil Mercantile for a period of 2 years. So he wants a suggestion between these three banks that we are looking at. Tapan, what would your view be? Which is the better pick?
See, I'm quite positive on two banks, that is City Union Bank and Karur Vysya Bank. Karur Vysya, because the way they have given the performance, and I think the management is quite positive for the near term. Even City Union Bank, the PSU banks and all that is actually doing well, and the margin expansion will be there. Plus the credit growth will be at a double digit. So I think I'm positive in Karur Vysya and Citibank.
Queries from Lokesh Kumar. He's holding 61 shares of Cochin Shipyard, bought at a price of 2040. Current loss is 25,000. Swati, should he continue to hold this counter?
Yes, no need to book losses at a lower levels. I believe the stock is almost entering the oversold zone. So the depth is limited from the current market price, but for you have to keep some longer durations. So definitely the view is positive. Pullback rally can be seen up to 1800 to 2000 levels in the near term future. So it's a hold from my end at the current market price.
Moving on, the next question is from Mukunda, who's writing to us from Bangalore. He's holding 4,200 shares of Kalyan Jewelers at an average price of 490. Wants to understand whether she can hold it for a period for more than 4 months. Swati, what would your view be?
You can definitely hold on this particular counters. 440 is acting as a very crucial support level. So as long as it holds those levels, the view will remain a positive. Positive momentums can be seen once the stock manages to give a breakout of at least 490 levels, because those are the resistance provided by its 20 days moving average. Any move above that level will witness a very strong positive momentum, which will take a stock towards to 530 levels. So at the current level, I will suggest to hold on this particular counter.
The next is a caller query coming in from Kolkata. Anupam, you can go ahead and ask your query.
Yeah, hello. My name is Anupam. I want to ask that I have 285 shares of Crompton Greaves. I bought it at average of 305, and I want to know whether I can hold for long term, I can add, or should I book losses because it's going down significantly.
Tapan, any view on Crompton Consumer?
Yeah, the stock has gone down a lot, but I think the outlook from here will be much, much better. And if you see the seasonal normalization is going to be there now onwards. B2B orders is increasing in the double digit. The only thing was the working capital cycle is stretched. Ad spend is increasing, which is bringing down the margins. But I think from here, I think as the stock come down a lot, I think the valuation is also okay. So he can hold for 1 or 2 quarter more. And I think things will be better from here.
Okay, moving on, it's time for rapid fire round now. So, experts, I'll try to keep your answers short and concise. I'll start off with the first query. Now, this is from Michael. He's holding 1,000 shares of Cupid at a price of 100. Wants to understand whether he should continue to hold or sell this one. Tapan, your view?
Hold this stock.
Thomas George from Kochi is holding 500 shares of Divyani at a price of 150. Should he continue to hold, Swati?
Definitely, he can hold this particular counter for a target of 145 rupees.
Swapan is holding 200 shares of Canara Bank at the price of 45. Wants to understand whether he should continue to hold. Tapan, your view?
Hold and buy at dips.
Vinod wants to know whether should he continue to buy Apar India at the current levels. Tapan, any view here?
Yeah, no, at a lower levels he can buy, not at this level.
Okay, next is regarding Adani Power. Now the investor is holding 200 shares at a price of 150. Wants to understand whether he should average at the current levels. Swati, your view?
Any dips towards to 125 can be taken as an average position, not at the CMP.
Do remember Adani Power is the holding is one of the group companies of NDTV Profit's holding company, that is AMG Media. Apart from that, Teja from Hyderabad, he has Tata Capital that he got an IPO. Should he continue to hold, Tapan?
No, he can sell at a upper level. I think better counters are available.
Okay, Neha is looking to enter Keynes Tech after the correction. Is this the correct time to buy? Swati, your view?
No, not at the current market price. Wait for some more time. Any dips towards to 4,000 to 3,800 levels are the attractive levels to take a long positions.
Harish is holding shares of Welchun Specialty, bought at a price of 40.4. Should he continue to hold, Tapan?
Yeah, he can hold it.
Jyoti from Hyderabad is holding 150 shares of transformers rectifiers at the price of 330. Wants to understand whether she should hold or sell this one. Swati, your view?
You can definitely hold on this particular counters for a target of 260 with a stop loss of 235.
Jaya from Bangalore is holding 100 shares of Senco Gold, bought at a price of 330 rupees. Should she average, sell or hold? Tapan?
She can hold, but when it goes down, she can average also.
Lokesh wants to understand whether it's the correct time to buy Coforge at the current level. Swati, what would your view be?
Coforge, yes, you can buy for a longer term durations, but any dips towards to 1800 to 1750 are the attractive levels to take a long positions.
Nishant wants to know whether he should continue to hold 100 shares of Tanla Platform, bought at a price of 784. Tapan, your view here?
Yes, please hold the stock.
Okay, Jaya has bought 150 shares of Hind Copper at the price of 250. Wants to understand whether she should hold or book profits on this one. Swati, your view?
Partial profits are recommended to book the. For another half, you can definitely hold on for a target of 385 by keeping a strict stop loss of 40 rupees.
Teja from Hyderabad wants to know whether should he buy BSC or CDSL, Tapan?
I think BSC is a better option.
Okay, Lingamurthy from Hyderabad wants to know whether it's a right time to buy Bajaj Housing Finance. He's currently holding 300 shares at the levels of 129. Swati, what would your view be?
Bajaj Housing Finance, definitely you can buy, but only 20-30% are recommended at the current market price.
Akhil Bakshi is holding 500 shares of Jio Finance at an average cost of 358, currently sitting at a loss of 18%. Tapan, should he continue to hold this counter?
Yeah, hold and he can average at this level.
Yash is holding Oswal Pump shares at the levels of 657, whether he should hold or sell this one. Swati, your view?
No, you can hold on, no need to book the losses. Upside, any movement toward to 600 can be utilized to exit the loss.
Ram from Hyderabad wants to know whether is it a good time to buy JSW Infra for long term, Tapan?
Yeah, good level to enter.
Okay, Sunil wants to know whether he should buy Sagar Cements, 793 shares he has for current levels. Swati, your view?
I will not suggest to buy at the current market price.
Okay, well, that's the last query that we had on this Ask Profit, and it brings us to the end of the edition of Ask Profit as well. So far, if we see, we have solved more than 60 queries on this show, but a quick check in terms of what's happening with the markets. Now, if you just look at the current levels, so in terms of how Nifty 50 is doing, we are seeing about 0.4% of a decline, while for Bank Nifty at the current levels, we are seeing a dip of around, if you can just pull that one out as well, we are seeing some bit of pressure there as well. In terms of the sectoral heat maps also, we are looking at pressure. With PSU banks, just last half an hour, we saw that was the only one which was in green. Now we have Realty, Energy and PSC also, which are seeing some bit of that uptick in trade today, while IT and auto is under pressure. But that's all that we had in this edition of of Ask Profit. Thank you so much, Swati and Tapan, for joining and sharing your perspective on all of these talks that we've discussed on the show. But that's an end to this edition of Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
...2025 has been a tremendous year for markets, money and milestones. And we have tracked it all right here.
As the year winds down, we bring you the big moments, the bold calls.
The stories that shaped your money and the trends that will shape the future.
Goodbye 2025. Get set for 2026. Only on NDTV Profit.
The most coveted invitation in the Indian corporate golf calendar, where top corporates go head-to-head with the finest professional golfers. An exclusive circuit across multiple cities. Aspirational, unforgettable. NDTV Golf Pro-Am, India's #1 golf Pro-Am, is here. The course of champions, the conversation of leaders. NDTV Golf Pro-Am. Stay tuned.
The NDTV Profit has come a long ways.
You are the new schools and colleges which people are getting access to education from.
ने बढ़िया आपका काम किया, आपके तो नाम में प्रॉफिट लगा हुआ भाई.
In the world of money and markets, the real currency is clarity.
So you guys have democratized information, and I think first you seeded the market, now the market is seeding you back out there.
Decisive, discerning, distinct. NDTV Profit isn't just business news.
We are like visiting faculty occasionally who come and get a chance to share what we can, but I think it's a great service.
It's the new language of markets, and the voices that move markets know it. Understand markets, decode money through the masters who shape them.
I think we are trying to get knowledge to smaller cities and towns, making it simple for retail investors. I think what you are doing is also contributing to the Indian capital markets and Indian economy.
When leaders speak of markets, they speak to NDTV Profit.
NDTV Good Times is something that we're supremely excited about.
We just don't want to do live entertainment. We want to create experience for you.
And NDTV Good Times is one of the most marquee and iconic ideas that NDTV came up with.